Okay. This is a video about our company handbook, specifically a walkthrough of it, showing you how it's all structured and how we use it, but also why it's a living, breathing document that we encourage everybody to change and edit and modify all the time. So I'm part of a founder group where someone recently asked to see examples of how people share all their big executive documentation with their broader team. Stuff like mission, vision, goals, those sort of big buzzwordy Harvard Business School things. And it struck me that maybe the way we do it Useful is a bit different. So I wanted to make this video that walks through our company handbook where we store all that stuff, but also talk about why our handbook might be a bit different and a bit unique in the sense that we change it all the time. So our company handbook started the instant Rob and I started working on Useful Books seriously, because we started by opening a Notion page and dumping all our big ideas into it. And over time, I added structure to it. And this was very inspired by two different things. First, the open company manuals, like your GitLab company handbook or the Government Digital Services Service Design Manual guide. Quite a mouthful. Anyway, I'll link to those two things below because they're both fantastic must-reads. But more importantly, it was inspired by this book, The E-Myth Revisited, which is a fantastic, short, easy-to-read book. The central theme of the book is this idea of the franchise prototype. Basically, the job of the founder is to not work in the business, not to chop the bread or code the code. Their job is to build the infrastructure, the systems, the scaffolding, the handbook on how anybody should be able to chop the bread or code the code. The idea being that you need to separate yourself from the business so it can thrive without you, can be bigger without you. And that's just so liberating. I love that idea. And we realized very early on that this handbook we're writing is our franchise prototype for Useful Books. So let me dive into how we structure this whole document and the couple of unique rules we have that keeps it really fresh and lets anybody in the company change, modify, and contribute to it. Okay, so welcome to our Useful Books Handbook. Let me show you around. So the homepage is very simple. It's our mission and strategy front and center with all the sublinks to the different pages you might need to get work done. And our mission and strategy is really simple. Our mission, we help indie nonfiction authors create and publish awesome nonfiction. That's it. No lofty goals or big language. It's just that simple statement. That is everything that we want to do with this business. And our strategy is as concise as that. We break it down into what we're making, how we make money with it, and how we grow. So we have our three major products, our book, our community, and the software. We make money by charging a subscription, and our flywheel stuff is a bit complicated, but it's all there. This is the whole theory of how we're going to do this today. This is our best guess. And then on the sidebar, we have all the sublinks you need to start doing work. So our daily work includes our atlas, which is our roadmap. This is where we plan, think about our next big projects and our next big things you want to do with the business. Our whip is sort of our hybrid to-do list Kanban thing, and Notion makes it very easy to see everyone's stuff versus stuff I'm working on. Got some tax things to do. And then our product pages are here. So each of our product lines has our own separate subpage, which basically mirrors this, what their mission is, what their strategy is. It keeps things very consistent. So it's easy to parse what you're looking at. So marketing is one of our products. It's bringing new authors into the fold. And you can see we have all the links here. We got our top level KPIs and goals here. And this is reflected throughout all these product pages. Here's our software stuff, same sort of thing. Churn and CPA, very important. And then resources are more the traditional handbook stuff. So we have how we work, like our document first approach, working on this handbook. And then we have general info. So our partner meetings are all public. So everyone in the company can see what the big ideas we're working on are or what we're screwing up. And that's it. This is the whole handbook. Our mission and strategy are front and center, and then everything else trickles down from there. And this is possible because of one very simple rule we have with the business, which is everything you work on, be it something as small as copy for a new marketing campaign, to something as big as changing how we think about bringing customers into our business, happens in this document. It doesn't happen in scratch pages over in Google Docs or in PowerPoints or whatever. It happens in this document. And what I mean by that is, if Rob and I are working on maybe a better way to do our strategy, like we edit it here, we change it in this document so people can see those changes in real time. And I think this is one of our superpowers as a company, is that as we do our own work, be it me doing some coding design or Rob working on some new marketing stuff, we're building our franchise prototype. Remember that thing from that book earlier on, we're building that document of how we built this business in real time. And that just is really nice because you get to see the history of the business change over time, but it also gets the rest of the company involved in making this handbook. So how does having this living, breathing, malleable, handbooky thing work in practice? Well, we have this guiding principle, which is documenting your work is the work. And what we mean by that is when you're making decisions, be it something as small as how we write our newsletters, something as big as how we make money, documenting how you got to that decision and then putting that decision in the book is as important as doing the work itself because that's changing how the business operates. What we found is it actually is quite liberating just to be able to say, you know what, we're going to try this. Boom, change. If it's wrong and you discover it doesn't work, then you go back and change it. But it keeps this handbook being that source of truth, being that reflection of what you think the best version of your business is. So there's a couple practicalities around making this work because obviously everyone editing a big document, which technically defines how a business runs, can be really messy. So one of the things we do is we have this thing called custodians. So I'm the custodian of this page. And a custodian's job is not to be a gatekeeper. No. Their job is just to make sure that when they go to this page, it is reflecting the state of the company or the state of the page as they know it. So maybe, for example, actually a real example is we recently had a fourth bullet point to our strategy. We had a publishing arm where we wanted to take all the books that were being created in our community and we wanted to provide them with an amazing publishing deal. And over a couple of partner discussions and some experiments, we realized that, this is a bit of a distraction for us. We want to focus on making our community amazing. We want to focus on making our software amazing. So we deleted it. And then earlier today, before I started making this video, I realized the way we deleted it left a bunch of question marks down here. So as the custodian, I just went through and cleaned it up. And every page has a custodian. That way, there's always somebody who has their eye on one or two pages to make sure that it's forming a cohesive, readable handbook, but also allows us to edit it all the time. So that's it. I think that's basically everything I want to cover. That's the walkthrough of our little tiny company handbook. It's not huge, but we love it. And I'd love to know what you thought about it, especially this sort of document-driven approach of everyone's changing it all the time to reflect the state of the company now. So yeah, drop a comment below with your thoughts, questions, criticisms, because we're still figuring this out. We don't really know if this is the right way, but it works for us today. So would love to hear what you all think.